Hello, traders. Welcome to this week's installment of our weekly analysis video. Today I'm gonna be mainly focusing on these two currencies. We do have GBPUSD and Euro USD. I may look at DXY. I may look at the DXY, but if time allows, we may look at the DXY. But for now, let's just focus on GBPUSD and Euro USD. So without wasting a lot of time, this is the daily chart for GBP USD, and as you can see, the price action is very clear. So last week, but one I did mention that GBP USD wasn't very clear, and the reason for that was because the swing structure, as you can see, is very bullish. This is where it broke structure to the upside. For those who follow SMC, because I'm an SMC trader, you can see that this is where we broke structure to the upside. Now the trend has been bearish, and we normally say that this bearish move is to facilitate the pullback. All right, and the reason for that, let me just illustrate for you. So we have that the market moves in these waves. So we have the impulsive wave and the corrective wave. We have the impulsive wave and the corrective wave. So I just want you to imagine this is where we broke that structure. All right, that is where we broke that structure. It doesn't matter whether you're an SMC trader. It doesn't matter whether you're a price action trader. It doesn't matter whether you trade ICT. I think all those strategies follow this one principle, that when we break structure to the upside, what do we expect? We expect a corrective move. All right, we expect that corrective move into a demand area, and then what we can expect from there is another impulsive leg to the upside. So that was the idea behind these that is what I saw actually. That is what I saw, that this was just this retracement. All right, all of this price action that you can see here, and as you can see, it is a well established trend, as you can see. So we are putting in the next leg, the next corrective leg, and then something of the sort to happen. Then we put in what? The next impulsive leg. So that was my idea, and I told you that I wasn't gonna trade. Actually, last week I never traded GBP USD, simply because I just wanted to see some more price action. All right, so one thing that I did mention is that GBP USD, we had tapped into this unmitigated daily demand zone, and as you can see, once we tapped into that daily demand zone, the explosive move that we've had. All right, so I just wanted to see some more price action. I just wanted to see this structure, because this is a well established downtrend. I just wanted to see that downtrend getting violated or getting disrespected, and this is exactly what happened. So you can see here, I've already marked that we have had an internal trend change on the daily structure, so that will form my idea going forward. So what can we see? So after the break of structure, just imagine this is it. This is where we are when the market has already broken that structure right there. This is where we are. Okay. So what do we expect? We expect that corrective move to kick in, or the retracement. So where do we expect that retracement to come from? So going into next week, or going into this the week that is starting, I'm expecting to see some impulsive move all the way to our demand zone right there. Okay, I expect to see that demand or the supply zone. I expect to see price pushing forward or pushing aggressively to the upside, and then that once we tap into that the supply zone, we can expect that corrective move to kick in. Okay, so let's just go to the 4 hours. And the 4 hours, as you can see, we do have price has already tapped into our 4-hour supply zone. And one thing that we need to note is that also you can see the 4 hours we have already the trend has already changed. We were bearish, right now we are bullish. Okay, so remember, we are following the internal structure. What can we expect? We expect that corrective move to kick in, and then we buy from there. So um, how do these two ideas or the two the 4 hours and the daily correlate, or how do we use these two time frames together? So one thing that I can see is that as you can see right there, this is our order block. This is just the refined zone. Price has already tapped into our let me just activate that. Price has already tapped into this bigger zone. Remember, this is just my refined zone, but the larger zone would be that. That's where we have our supply block. Now, if we move to the 4 hours, you can see price has already tapped into that. All right. And what I identified was that unmitigated 4 hours zone. Not really, it's not really that, it's not really that fresh, as you can see, because price already tapped into it once, it already tapped into it twice before we got that explosive move to the downside. So it's really not that fresh, which again tells me that this could be an inducement for this zone that you can see right there. This is the refined 4 hours, and then also the refined daily zone. Okay, right there. So we may see price actually violating, or price actually pushing, and closing above this zone. All right, but right now I'm watching it closely because with trading you really never know what to expect. So I'm watching it closely, but I honestly think this may be used as an inducement for that zone, all right, or for even other zones above that. All right, yeah. So going into the next week, what I expect is a move to the downside. I expect a move to the downside, either especially given the fact that we've already broken. All right, we've already broken structure to the upside, so we just take our fib level. um just take our fib level. So I expect a move back into the mean threshold of that move. I expect price to come back to that zone. All right, so that is where I should be framing my trade ideas from. Okay, so we can sell the market all the way to that zone, and then buy GBP USD. So if we move to the 1 hour, okay, all these 1 hour and 15 minutes are just my refinement zone. As you can see, if you want to get into those cells, remember I have already defined that zone. So let's just jump into the 15 minutes, because that is my entry time frame. What I'm now expecting is to see price actually breaking below that level, because this is my fractal protected low. Once we break below that, what I then expect is for price to come back into the zone, or even take out this high, and then anyway, that is my entry model, which I won't go into in this video, because this is just my analysis video, just to show you what I'm seeing on these markets. So for the GBPUSD, expect for us to sell massively to the downside all the way to this level, right? All the way to these levels. Let me just mark that. Going back into the 4 hours, let's just show that in the minutes. So we expect price to come all the way to the downside, right? All the way. So yeah, that is it for GBPUSD. Let's just go to the EURUSD and let me show you my trade ideas. So starting with the daily, this is what we have. So you can see the daily swing structure is bearish, and this is where we broke structure to the downside. We've been in that kind of you can say we've been ranging, okay, because price is stuck in between that daily high and this daily low, okay, and price has been contained, okay, between those two levels. So with the euro usd, I can see really we don't have a defined internal structure. So what we're going to trade is the fractal structure, and this is where the fractal low should be. Let me just adjust that, and this is not targeted but protected. So yeah, okay, so that is what we have now. So what I also expect, because we broke structure to the upside, what I expect is a move to the downside. And as you can see, we do have that remember, this is our order block. All right, this is our order block, but if I am to refine that again, I would go with these, with these levels. And if you're never really sure, you can just use your fib. Okay, you can just use your fib. Let me just delete that. You can always use your fib and target to enter on the 61.8 levels right there, the 61.8 level. All right, so also with the euro usd, what I expect is a move to the downside and then continue to buy. But yeah, let's use the 4 hours to just get a good and clear picture of what's going on. And as you can see, the 4 hours is quite bullish. We've been in that pullback, and then what we can expect is for the market to take out this 4 hourly targeted high. All right, so but the internal, because we are trading the internal, as you can see, we broke structure to the upside. What can we expect? What we can expect then is for the market to pull back and then buy. Okay, because we broke the structure to the upside right there. So once we break the structure to the upside, what we can expect is for us to pull back and then we buy. And then the good thing is that we've already tapped into our supply zone. Yeah, we've already tapped into our supply zone. So any move from here, something of the sort, yeah, expect something of the sort. But then again, remember, this is the 4 hourly targeted high. We can of course expect also to see the market actually pushing aggressively to the upside and later coming to retest these unmitigated zones, right? Remember, we have these unmitigated zone, and also I just want you to pay close attention to this level. This is a very, very clean level with all these highs which are acting as a low resistance, yeah, liquidity resting above. We have a lot of liquidity resting above that. So all of these zones, just like with the GBPUSD, this zone may be used as an inducement zone for these zones. Okay, I just want you to pay attention to that, that these zones may be used as an inducement to induce sellers to sell GBPUSD, to sell EURUSD, and then them sellers are gonna be used as liquidity for us to tap into these other zones. Yeah, so we have that zone, we also have that one, and we also have this one, the extreme zone. But the extreme zone really doesn't hold that much relevance because it has already been mitigated. Yeah, and the zone that I'm talking about is this one. Yeah, because as you can see, the market moved or pushed to the downside and then returned back into the zone, and then we got that continuation move to the downside. Yeah, so the only unmitigated zone would be this is the zone that hasn't been mitigated. And this Euro USD compared to GBP USD presents a very accurate presents not a very accurate, but presents it's structure wise looks very, very nice. I think I may be more leaning towards Euro USD than GBP USD. Yeah, so those are the only two trade ideas that I had for you. So let's just look at the DXY. But before we look at the DXY, let's just change some things here. This is the protected. That's the protected low, and this we are not really sure whether this is the high, but we just gonna use that as our high. Yeah, so we expect the market to move all the way to the downside, and this is the unmitigated zone. All right, that is the unmitigated zone. But of course, you can also look at this. This is also a zone. This is also a good zone to look to trade from. Yeah, I really don't see any other zones apart from these two zones. And also, my strategy tells me that we of course expect the market to pull back all the way to the 50% of that leg. This is the bullish leg. We expect the market at least to make it to the 50%. So if this level doesn't work out, then we are looking at this level. Okay. So yeah, so let's look at the DXY, and this is what we have. Should delete that. So the DXY, as you can see, it's quite bearish, but the swing structure is bullish. So this is the daily IBOS. So bullish swing structure, bearish internal structure, and the bearish internal structure is just to facilitate what? To facilitate that to facilitate pullback. So what can we see? The market is approaching what? The market is approaching this order block or this daily demand zone. Okay, so what then we can expect to see is just a continuation move to the downside and then something of the sort. Remember, the swing structure holds more power, so we broke structure to the upside, and then now we are pulling back. So we are approaching our daily demand zone. So yeah, we should follow that. We should continue selling DXY to the downside until we get to that demand level. So moving on to the 4 hours, what can we see? Let me just should be DOB. Yeah, let's move to the 4 hours. And 4 hours, this is what we've got. Just a minute. Yeah. So moving on to the 4 hours. Remember, by the way, I normally focus on the daily time frame and the 4 hours time frame, and then I use 15 minutes for execution. Now the 1 hour is just to refine my zones. 1 hour, I don't do analysis on 1 hour. I do my analysis mostly on the daily, the 4 hours, and the 15 minutes. Mainly on the daily, and on the 4 hours, 15 minutes is just for entry. So what can we see? If we can refine these, you can see that we have our order block right there, the 4 hours. So what we can see, what we can expect is for the market to come back all the way to the downside. Yeah, all the way to the downside. And by the way, the 4 hours, yeah, this was the targeted low, and we broke it to the downside. So this means that this is our protected high. All right. Yeah, so that is it. We expect that move to the downside, and then we continue buying. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.